everyone, welcome back to TuckGurus.com. It's me, Ali. I'm here once again with another tutorial. This tutorial, we're going to be talking about users inside of WordPress. So what are users? How do we navigate users? When do we set up the user accounts? Who are the particular people who will join them? How do we set up a gravatar as well? So let's dive right into this because there's a lot to go through. So inside of our admin panel here, we just come down to users and we click on users. Now inside of here, at present, every time you come into the user's account, there will be one user already set up, and that user will be you. You're the admin, you have the main rights to this. User is a person that has full control over your WordPress, or you can set up specific users, let's say people who are your content writers, people who are managing your website. You can set up different types of roles for them so that they would see different things down the left here. But you, as an admin, can see everything and have full control over everything. So first you'll be displayed with a little icon. This is my old icon for the old one-stop tutorials. I'm going to show you how you can create a new gravatar. They're called gravatar, but we'll go over that in a sec. You have edit or view, okay? Over here on the right, you have the email address that is associated with this admin. You have the role, meaning what it is, because you've got different roles. You've got admin, editor, different types of things. And then how many posts that this person, this admin, myself, has added to the website. So I'm going to come into edit, and inside of here, there's different options for me as a user to change. So for example, if I wanted to change the look of WordPress, I could come in here and I could change colors up and around, choose some built-in systems. I quite like the default. I can disable the visual editor when writing so that it's just text. It's an easy way for me to write. I can disable the syntax highlighting when editing code. Again, this is a lot later, but if you wanted to edit code, syntax highlighting is letting you know different types of color, different types of highlighting when you're writing code. But for now, we want to keep this super easy, so we can disable those if we wanted to. There's certain shortcut keys we can enable. You just go to more information, and this will display all the different shortcuts that you can come through. You can come through, check that out. Down here we have the username, which is the admin. The main admin username cannot be deleted, and it also cannot be changed here. The first name, last name, the nickname, the display name. So if you wanted to display as like TuckGurus, for example, you would choose from the drop down if you had display names like that. The email address, the actual website URL. This is some information about you, like about us, so people can read up about you, especially when you're like leaving some comments, things like that. This is a profile picture of the gravatar. This is how you change gravatar. Gravatar is a company for WordPress that you associate an image with your email address. So anytime you're on other blogs, anytime you're around the internet and you start leaving comments as that email address, your gravatar, your little image here, gets displayed on that as well. That's how your image is always displayed on things. You can set a new password. You can set up sessions where you log out from everywhere else. And this part down here is more to do with API applications, things like that. We don't have to worry about that now. We're going to keep this super easy. So let's come back to all users, and let's just choose, let's click and add a new user. I'm just going to click and add one, and I'm just going to create another one. I'm going to create one called, let's say, TuckGurus. I will associate an email with it. I'm going to use Ali at TuckGurus. Ali Young. Website, I'm just going to leave blank. I'm just going to copy that password because I'll probably need that. And then at the bottom here, so this is what you would do. You would set up a username for them, whatever username you want. I'll put TuckGurus. Okay. Then I associate their email, so whatever their email address is, I put it into here. Their first name, last name, that's good for you. You can generate a password or you can put in your own one. I'm just going to copy that just to be sure. You can then send the new user this information, so this information you've applied above, you can send it to them. And then you can assign them a role. Now, roles are important, and I'm going to show you what happens when you log in and log out of different roles, but a subscriber is just someone who subscribes to your website. That's all they'll be able to. So when they log in under subscriber, all they will have basically is their profile on the left here. They won't be able to edit pages, posts, or anything like that. You have contributors. Contributors can add new posts and edit but they can't post them, they can't make them live, they can't publish them, they can't upload files, they can't do things like that. Author, as it sort of sounds like, an author is a person who can create content for you. So an author, they can write, edit, publish, they can make, moderate comments, things like that. An editor has a bit more rights where they have full control over all of the sort of content here. They can moderate, they can edit, they can delete comments, they can do stuff like that. And an admin is basically like you. You are an admin where they have full control over your website. So if you don't know this person, I suggest you never make them admin. You'd only make someone admin if you really trust them or they were a business partner or something like that. This is what's so awesome about these users, that you can associate different people. So let's say you've got someone writing blog content for you, or you've got someone you want to manage the actual website, but you don't want them to have access to everything on your website. They can only do a certain amount. So when you create a user, you want to make sure that you assign them a specific role. It's very important. So if they're writing, editing, or they're managing like your WordPress website, you can use editor. If they're creating like content, writing content, you can use author. Or if you really, really know them and they're going to be managing everything, then you can make them an administrator. I'm just going to create this guy, this funny guy called Ali Young. I'm just going to create him to be an author, because then I'm going to log in and make sure and show you what it looks like on the left. And you'll see here it's been added, Tuck Gurus, and I can come in here, I can delete, I can view them, I can edit them, I can do everything I want. So let me just quickly log out, and then I'm just going to log back in as Tuck Gurus. Now, just before I log out, you'll notice everything on the left here. We've got pages, media, posts, elemental, templates, appearance. Just notice how this changes when I log in. So we've got Tuck Gurus, and I'm just going to log out here. I'm going to come up to the top right, choose log out. I'm just going to log in, and I'm going to use that password. And as I log in here, you'll notice I'm now logged in under Ali Young, Tuck Gurus. And you'll notice that on the left here, everything's changed. So this is the brilliant thing. They don't have access to your full website. They can't control everything unless you make them an admin. So they can only do so much. So I can post, I can change, add imageries, I can look at templates. There's certain, I can change my profile. So when I click on profile, this is my profile, and you notice here, Ali Tuck Gurus. I can come in now under my profile, and which we're going to do in a second, and I can create a gravatar. But the main important thing is when associating user roles and changing their permissions and stuff is that you choose the correct role so they only have access to certain things inside of your WordPress website. This is really powerful. You don't want everyone having full control. So now under my profile, I'm just going to scroll down here and I'm going to create a gravatar. Gravatar, like I explained, is an image I want to put on here. So I'm going to click on this. It's going to take me to Gravatar. I'm going to sign in. It's going to ask me for my email, but I don't actually have an account at the moment, so I'm going to come down here and choose Create an Account. I'm going to choose Ali Tuck Gurus. Choose a username. I'm going to call it Ali Tuck. Ali Tuck Gurus. And then I just associate a password with it. I'm going to create that. We've sent you a confirmation, so then we just need to log into that and get the confirmation. Logging into my Gmail here. Okay, and there we have it here. Activate Ali Tuck Gurus. Just going to choose Activate Account. Excellent, so now I'm logged in. I'm just going to come up the top here where this little icon is with the no picture. Click on that. I'm going to upload an image. Where is this image? Maybe I just add that one. Looks good. Change my profile. Perfect. So now if I come back to my WordPress, I'm logged in as Ali Young and it does display it here. But if I come back down to profile and have a look here, you'll now notice that my image is in there. Now, if your image isn't in there, sometimes what you have to do is log out, or sometimes you have to refresh multiple times, and your image will be in there. But if you've added it to your profile under the email address that you set up, that is the same as your email address inside of here, then it will eventually come in, okay? That just means now that anytime I use ali@tuckgurus.com, this email, this image will always be displayed. This is George, by the way. So that's how you add people as a user. Again, then if I just want to come back into my main admin, I log out and then I just come back in as my main admin. And once I'm inside of here, you'll now notice I have full control over the website. And when I come to users, you'll now see that because I updated on my profile, as I'm the admin, I can see what your image is as well. And now inside of here, I have 2 email addresses. So that's how you work with users. That's how you create them. That's why you would create them. In the next tutorials, we're going to be coming through settings and some other things. If you're loving these tutorials, please subscribe, click the like button, as that really helps grow this channel. Also, any comments, just leave them below. We're always going to be answering your comments. And as always, if you want to be notified, just click that bell and that will update you with the latest tutorials that we're putting out here. Take it easy, guys and girls. I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. Laters.